Okay.
Did you say just slap
You
you?
can have fun at my expense.
Really?
It's okay. I don't care.
It hasn't turned yet? Well,
I
praise
like
the
your
Lord.
hair.
Oh,
It's nice.
let's go ahead anyway.
Okay, yeah. go
We're
ahead.
ready.
Yeah.
Yes. Yay.
Hey. Click it, girl.
Welcome back. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRBmedia,
The voice of the community.
I am Dr. Bizness.
You like that sound effect? Hey! And I am the one and only Ms Divine.
Family, we are so excited that you have tuned in, stay tuned in, are tuned in to this segment. We're talking about purpose.
Purpose.
Living a life of purpose, a life of passion.
Passion.
We have an individual that's here on the mic with us, Rob the Revealer.
Rob
And
the Revealer.
He has shared an awesome testimony and an awesome story with regards to going through the uttermost to the guttermost and how redemption has brought him to live again.
It's called going through the fire. Literally.
And some people get burnt
Up
in the fire.
and come back. And then they're resurrected by the blood of the Lamb.
Others, they get strengthened by it because fire has a way
That's
of
resurrection.
refining.
That's resurrection.
Yeah, refining.
You said
and-
fire has a way of refining.
Yeah, it refines things. Fire. You can shape things with fire.
When you get
Swords
iron
and
hot, you can-
iron, and
yeah,
you can
yeah.
manipulate and
Yeah.
turn it.
Because iron
diamonds.
sharpens iron, right?
That it does.
Okay, bless God. So we all sharpen each other because we're all
That's
iron.
right. That's right.
We all been through the fire. Is that what you're saying?
To a certain degree. You
We
know,
have?
some people are at 400 degrees. Fire. Others are at 100.
What's the
different
degree
degrees.
where it finally burns? How hot does fire
That's
have to
400.
get? That's 400?
400, right?
Yeah.
That's when you cook stuff.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Most stuff is
Me.
cooked at 400
I
degrees.
did not know that because I be
Fahrenheit,
putting my stuff in the oven and I put it on 350 and let it slow bake. You know, that salmon got a slow bake.
Okay, that would do it too, depending upon what you're looking to burn. So there's certain things you put on certain temperatures depending upon what it is that you're trying to cook or reveal or to bring out.
Very good
Because when you
point.
cook stuff, it has a way of killing the impurities that are inside the food, the pesticides, the insecticides, the living organisms. That's why you have to cook it to a certain degree and a certain temperature so that you don't end up getting sick and getting tapeworms and things of
If
that nature.
that's the case, when people steam broccoli, I heard they killing the good stuff.
Depends upon how long they steam it for.
And what they're cooking.
But what about vegans that say, no, you should eat raw vegetables and fruits because that's where all the nutrients in the food is.
And technically, it's true. However,
But you're eating the
you
bacteria,
can never
too.
eat enough nutrients just eating off of the land.
Really? Why not?
All the minerals,
they did it
all the
before.
vitamins,
They did it back in the
acids.
Bible days.
And they've discovered that based upon our environment, the ozone layer,
Oh, yeah, well, now.
what's in the water and things of that nature,
You
we
got a point.
need more supplements to help protect our temple from the ailments that exist in this world.
I'm gonna tell you, because back in the day, they were living for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, hundreds of years.
Yep.
Like people wasn't getting depressed and thinking, okay, my life about to end at 90 or 100. Like they were living for 2, 3.
Even having babies at 90 and 100.
They were. Bodies
That's
was
right.
on point. What happened to us? Technology, right? Technology.
Yeah.
Plastic was formed and all. But see, there's
Blow
good.
up dolls.
Oh my God! So who do we have in the studio with us today?
Well, it's Rob the Revealer. We were talking about negative influences, I think. We got off on some safe
and that's a negative influence.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
blow up dolls.
dolls,
You know,
negative
negative influence. Yeah.
I don't know. They could be good companions. I mean, they don't talk back, or I'm assuming.
Put them in the
Pretty
seat
dull
next to you.
opinion.
What has been your experience?
I have not.
Oh, okay. I tried to lead him into that
I
one.
have absolutely none.
See what we got to deal with Rob the Revealer.
Heard a
I hear
comedian
ya.
talking about
I
it.
hear
But
ya.
yeah.
So, Rob, tell us about yourself and tell us about what you got going on.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to say one last thing about that story I told you
Before the break?
But yeah, before
Okay,
the break.
yeah.
Because I turned to that page of negative influences, and that was the only thing in that 8x8 room that could have answered my prayer, that could have explained what I just asked God. It was the only page, and I went straight to it. And then I turned on my radio, and this was really a miracle. I listened to nothing but NPR when I was in that cell. And I turned it on, and mysteriously, it got moved to the Christian network. And there was a full minute of a woman singing in a beautiful voice, "Hold on, be strong, it won't be much longer." And she said it over and over for a minute. I sat there and bawled, because I knew from that moment that, I do have a purpose in life. All this stuff I'm reading, it's manifesting itself in front of me. And I think it's sad that there's not more programs and there's not more things that go on to ensure that people get that type of information. Prison was initially set up to reform people. And so the fact that 76% go back, I was there. I can't imagine ever wanting to go back again. But the fact that people come out and they think they're labeled, or they think they have a stigma stuck to them.
It's not they think, it is actually the reality of it, unfortunately.
It is to a degree, but every disadvantage can be made into an advantage.
Absolutely.
So if you look at it in that light, then yes, and I tell friends that have got out of prison that all the time. Well, I got this felony now, I'm a felon now. Find a way to use it to your advantage.
There was a guy that I interviewed on the mic, and I'm an author. I have 3 books, and I was speaking with him, and he has 21 books, and I was very impressed. Because he had 21, I had 3. I'm like, well, there's a whole bunch of reading and writing going on. And I'm like, okay, give me some advice, some counsel, how I might be able to grow and develop. And his advice was go to prison.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what you talking about, Willis? He said, go to prison. I'm like, why? He's like, I was in prison for 21 years. I wrote 1 book every year for 21 years. I'm like, why? He said, because I knew that when I got out, I'd be labeled, I'd have a stigma, nobody would want to hire me, and in order for me not to get back caught up in the same circles that I was in that put me in here in the first place, I figured I can be an author.
Yes.
Write my 21 books, come out, go on the speaking circuit, have book tours, things of that nature, and not have to rely on the man for a job.
Exactly.
I'll create my own.
Yes, then that's what I initially did too. I put a map that I knew that I could reach. I don't have to know, like if I'm going to California, I don't need to know every route and route. I need to know the next 10 miles ahead of me. I just need to see the next 10 miles. I know the map's going to take me there. I've got faith in it. I've got belief. And so
I think that's what's key in what you're saying, having faith and belief, because sometimes people take faith out of the direction that God is sending them because of analysis paralysis, and they need to know all the details. Am I turning right at what block? How many miles am I going? Then am I turning left? And they have to have all the details before they literally step out on faith. But it's like, well, if that's the case, then where's the element of faith?
That's right.
Because if everything is laid out for you in a in a box with a pink ribbon on it, then you have left literally no room for God to be able to enter into this equation, because you have mapped it out in your own strength, in your own mind, and you've left nothing for the God element to be revealed in this process.
Yes. And I strongly believe, like when you stop following and let fears motivate you, you do hear the path of God, and you can understand where He's trying to push you in the direction that you need to go. And I'm really excited about getting to meet all these people that have done this before me. Again, Rob the Revealer is not a doctor. He's a man who made mistakes, wasted a lot of his life, and wants to see what he can do with the rest of it. And I want to talk to people who have done it before me, and have really made an impact on the community. And I'm going to bring in people who have a lot of experience with it, and who doesn't like underdog stories. I mean, so we're going to have a lot of great underdog stories. And if you have a family member that's in prison, what type of literature are you sending them? What type of hope are you giving them? And to really try to make a difference in the community.
The Bible talks about eye have not seen, ear have not heard, nor has it even entered into the heart of man that which God has for us. So when we step out on faith and we trust God with our whole heart, he starts to reveal to us the path and the direction that we need to go, which allows us to be that successful contributing member in society.
And you can trust it.
Yes.
You can trust it.
Yes.
That's the thing. You have doubters, and you have people like
naysayers,
the negative
and haters,
influences.
the negative influences.
Yes.
You've never done this before.
Yes.
You don't have any experience in this area. What makes you think you can?
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like a scam to me. Oh, well, you don't have the education. Too good to be true.
But all
of
of
that.
There's an entity, and I just posted this not too long ago. Anytime you have an entity that's doing something positive or good, you are always going to have some type of attack from the enemy, is what I call it. Some type of negative attack, because either out of jealousy, which is one of the 7 sins, out of and jealousy
envy.
stemming from envy, stemming from they like what they see, but because they can't duplicate it, or because they can't duplicate it or do it like the originator is doing it, they will try to undermine it. And it's so sad, because it goes back to something you had said, I think, in the previous interview, is that there's or maybe you said it, there's so much negative, it was you, is negative out there that we don't have enough outlets. No, maybe it was you that said it. I'm sorry.
Somebody said it.
Yeah, somebody said it. It was enough positive outlets out there highlighting the good things, highlighting the positive things. And then you tag teamed and piggybacked off that and said, we have to protect our eyes, our ears, we have to protect our senses, because our senses are flesh, and flesh is subject to fail. So we have to allow the spirit to be greater than the flesh, and to be able to want to do better, be better, exude better for not only ourselves, but for the world, because there's a lot of people that are looking to us as media. Now I'm talking about us as media, us as individual radio hosts, us as individuals out in the world. We have to be careful as to how we live our life, because people are watching us, and although from time to time people's perception may be screwed, people's interpretation of what we do or how we do, they may not totally agree. That's where understand. That's where communication comes in. Communication through the media outlets, communication through one-on-one conversations, communication, and at the end of the day, we always have to be mindful that whatever we do, whatever we say, how we live, it needs to exude God, because that doing things right may not always feel comfortable, but doing things right in God's way will always have the most positive, impactful, significant impact.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I said a lot there, but I just think it's very important that we have shows like your radio show, what's the name of it?
Building Purpose.
And it airs when?
8:30 Eastern.
8:30 a.m. or p.m.?
8:30 p.m.
8:30 p.m. on
Eastern Standard
Sunday?
Time.
Standard Time. Yes, Sunday nights.
On Sunday nights, okay.
Sunday nights, 8:30
And that's on
p.m.
iHeart,
Eastern
that's on
Standard.
WDRBmedia, that's on
TuneIn Radio.
TuneIn, that's on Streama, that's on multiple outlets.
Yes.
But I definitely applaud you for wanting to be better and to definitely do better because.
Well, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, because that percentage, that 76% you
Yes.
said, go back into
Yeah.
like you said, I don't know why anyone after experience a traumatic, a negative, experience, why would you want to go back to that?
It's incredible.
Other than the fact that you have not found purpose and you haven't found purpose
Right,
yet because
exactly.
you don't have that right relationship with God and you haven't seeked it because God is waiting.
Oh, yeah.
And God, what does the word
He's
say?
knocking.
Seek ye first the kingdom of
heaven.
God,
Yeah.
right? The kingdom of heaven.
And all these other things will be added unto you. Right.
And you'll then be able to not only live life, but live life abundantly.
abundantly.
And living life abundantly doesn't always mean
Money.
the overflow
Yes.
of money
Yes.
or materialistic things.
It's-
Living an abundant life, that's an intimate
Yes.
experience. Like you said, that which you experienced in that 8x8 room
Was an
in
intimate
solitary was
moment.
an intimacy.
It's intimate,
Nothing
yeah.
can compare to
Relationship.
that because it's life changing.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? It's life giving. It's life bringing, and money can't give you that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fame can't give you that. Like there's nothing in this earth that can give you what God can give you.
That's right.
And I've had many more experiences
Wow.
since that point. That was the
turning point.
The turning point where I understood. And I was also able to look back through life and understand, wow, this person was put in my life.
Yes.
I remember the first time I ever got down on my knees and prayed.
Wow.
I'd been in isolation for 6 years, and I was thinking about committing suicide. And it was the first time I ever got on my knees and prayed. And I said, I think it's time for me to check out. I'm tired of hurting my family. I wasn't asking for anything from me. I was saying, I'm tired of letting everybody down. I'm tired of hurting my family. I'm tired of being a responsibility for everyone. It's better for everyone else. And that was my prayer to the Lord. I had been in seclusion for 6 years.
Yeah.
The next day, I got this urge to go to an NA meeting. And a special person was put in my life right away. And I realized I prayed correctly the day before, and that special person is with me to this day.
Wow.
She stayed with me the whole time I was in prison. She came like an angel.
Wow.
The very next day. I
Wow.
mean, it was absolutely amazing.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
And so yeah.
Know that God has a purpose and a plan for your life, and I'm excited about what God is revealing in you, through you, and the lives of individuals
Yeah.
that you're going to touch, not only on a daily basis, but through Radio Land and the broadcast on Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Building Purpose.
Yes.
Family, we want you to tune in. We want you to be tuned in, stay tuned in, get the information to be able to share. There's PPP Plus. Is it .org?
Yes,
PPP
that's
Plus.
PPP Plus inmates.org.
For inmates. Mm-hmm. The number
that the
four.
number four?
The number four.
Yeah, the number four. Yeah, the number is that's for Anthony Williams, the executive director, and his number is 704-835-8558, and he's what's making this show possible. And he's put complete faith in me that I can put a good platform together. We've talked for the past few months here, and he feels that. And I believe too. He said God won't let you flop.
Hey.
I
That's
listened
right.
to this song right before I came in here. God's not going to let you flop. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Family, we're so excited that you have tuned in and been able to benefit from the wealth of knowledge and
Yes.
information that we try to share with you on a daily basis. God is love. We love you. And we're so excited that you continue to be tuned in and stay tuned in to this daily broadcast. You're tuned in to the Profit and Growth Hour here on WDRB Media,
The voice of the community. I am so proud of you.
Really?
Yes.
You think I'm
did
doing okay?
Wonderfully.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did